Hey, what's going on, Steeler Nation? I'm Daniel J., your host. Today we're talking the injury report and how it affects the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're talking both Miami Dolphins and Steelers injury report. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Don't forget we're giving away 2 tickets to the Steelers versus Vegas Raiders game to a subscriber. We'll be picking a winner on October 30th at the post-game show of the Eagles game at random. It'll be a random comment. More details we put out later. But with that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers, and welcome to the Huddle. So the big news is that the both starting quarterbacks in this game seem to be on the right path to being playing, and that goes for Tua Tagovailoa. Man, I keep messing up his last name. I'm just going to call you Tua from now on, buddy. I apologize. And Keny Pickett, both sustaining or out in concussion protocols. Both are on the right path as long as there's no setbacks to be the starting quarterbacks in this upcoming matchup. Good news for the Steelers defense. A lot of the secondary that was out last week seems to be on the right path to returning. Cam Sutton, he was limited to participate up to this point. Akila Witherspoon also, both of them were dealing with a hamstring injury. Levi Wallace was a limited participant in his concussion. He's in the concussion protocol. Keny Pickett, I was at the game Sunday, and where he got injured was right where I was sitting. My tickets are in the lower level in the end zone. If you guys end up winning the tickets to the Vegas Raiders Steelers game, you'll know exactly where we're sitting. So right there in the lower level of the end zone, he was hit pretty close to that end zone. Now I watched the ball travel. I didn't watch Keny Pickett, after he got hit, see how he went. I didn't see his head collide into the ground. I did see that afterwards. But when I look back at Keny, I saw him on the ground. I saw him. He had one leg up, and it looked like he was, grasping at his abdomen or his rib side. I thought perhaps he may have had a rib injury similar to the Justin Herbert injury that he's been dealing with. And, he got up and then he went back down to one knee. And when he was down on one knee, it really did look like he was sucking in wind. Like I said, I didn't see his head hit the ground. And I understand that the NFL is being super precautious given the fact that the injury to Tua and how that is basically how that looked to everyone, and that if there's a indication where it looks like you possibly could have had a concussion, they're going to pull you out. And that's what I think they did for Keny Pickett. I was surprised when they announced it in the stadium on the big screen that he was out with a concussion. I was like, wow, I definitely thought that was going to be a ribs, but to see him back in full participant so soon in the week, and you look at like someone like Levi Wallace who missed the last game due to a concussion, he's still a limited participant. That leads me to believe that Keny Pickett is in the concussion protocol. That doesn't mean he had a concussion, and I think that perhaps him not having one may have been a situation here. Minka Fitzpatrick was limited, but he had stated earlier in interviews that he was going to be a go for this week's game and that his knee feels good. Miles Jack, he was limited as well. He had an ankle. I saw him out there limping quite a bit. It was very apparent that he was dealing with that ankle. Mason Cole was a limited participant as well with an ankle. And James Daniel, I didn't know he was hurt, but yeah, he was limited as well. Mason Cole, he's been dealing with this foot injury for a minute now. This is definitely survive till the bye, guys. The Steelers need to, stack up some wins here and survive to the bye, get healthy, get the reigning defensive MVP back in the game in TJ Watt. Wide receiver Steven Sims also did not participate due to a hamstring. There's a possibility that Calvin Austin gets activated to the 53 this week. Wouldn't that be something to see? His speed is something that the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, something the Pittsburgh Steelers need. You look at George Pickens, he's a speedy guy, but he's kind of tall and lengthy. And so he's not the same type of speed that Calvin Austin is, where he's short and extremely quick, especially off the line. And so, that kind of speed, that shiftiness, that ability to, the agility and the ability to move in and around traffic is something that Calvin Austin's going to be able to bring to this team. Also, his size, he's a smaller guy, so it's going to be harder to find him. Could be an advantage. Pat Freiermuth was a full participant from the concussion protocol. He's going to be huge. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to need him. He is that security blanket for Kenny Pickett. Him and George Pickens have become Kenny Pickett's security blanket. They are known to have hands and to catch the ball with frequency. I'm looking forward to having him back. Chris Wormley was a limited participant with an ankle, and Larry Ogunjobi was out with a knee, or not out. He did not participate with a knee. He had that knee injury in game, was able to return to the game and be a disruptor in the game. So I anticipate him playing in this game, but this is probably an injury that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to try to manage. Now, for the other side, you have Tua, who's going to be coming back from his scary concussion. He's been off for a few weeks. That the last game that he played was a Thursday night game, so he missed 2 games, but in reality, it was a little bit longer than what your average 2-game miss is, because the Thursday night game that he was taken out of was such a game that's early on in the week, and so he's going to have some rust, in my opinion. And I think this is going to be an optimum time for the Pittsburgh Steelers to try to confuse him and get after him. Their tackle, Terran Armstead's been dealing with a toe injury for a while. Melvin Ingram, he had a rest day, so he wasn't injured, but he had a rest day. We'll kind of go through theirs. And I'll just kind of talk about anybody of importance on the Miami Dolphins team. So defensive end, Emmanuel Ogba, he did not participate with a back. The defensive tackle, Jerome Baker, with a hip, was limited. Xavier Howard was limited participant. This is non-injury related, but he was dealing with a groin earlier, so that might be something to look at. I think that when you look at it, they're going to have an opportunity with Armstead being somebody who's been dealing with this toe injury for majority of the season since week 1. The Steelers are going to have an opportunity to get after Tua Tagovailoa, and they're going to need to, and if they want to win this game. The Miami Dolphins have some speedy receivers on the outside, and in order for the Steelers to, contain them, it would behoove them to get after the quarterback, make him make a decision faster than he wants, make him make a throw that perhaps get him off of his accuracy-ness or game or whatever you want to call it. And so disrupt him, get him off rhythm, get him off time. And I think this is a game the Pittsburgh Steelers can win. And another step up and out of this hole that they dug themselves into. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're giving away 2 tickets. These are game day tickets to the Steelers versus Las Vegas Raiders game. That game is on December 24th. It'd be a great Christmas present for yourself or a friend or family of yours. These seats are in the lower level in the end zone, section 122, about 15 rows up. So it's pretty close down to the ground level there. All you got to do is be a subscriber. The week leading up to the Eagles-Steelers game that is on October 30th, I will be putting out a video with instructions on how to be finally entered into the contest. So there's one more step after you become a subscriber, which is just commenting the code word that we give you. And then during the post-game show, at random, using the random selector tool that StreamYard provides, it will be selecting a commentee or commentor, or however you want to pronounce it, of somebody who commented the code word at random. You will have 24 hours to email me at stateofthesteelers@gmail.com, and we'll be giving you some instructions to validate, to make sure that you are who you are, and it's not just somebody random saying, hey, I won the tickets. And then afterwards, tickets will be transferred to you via email. So you still have time to enter. Hit the subscribe button, like the channel. Please leave a comment. It helps the algorithm, guys. I'm trying to get this platform bigger and larger, and definitely need your guys' help. But with that being said, guys, I'm Daniel J. This is State of the Steelers. Peace.